Barbara, if you could tell me a little bit about the Rochester Philharmonic Youth Orchestra. That's the acronym, right? I got it. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
All right.
Yeah,
So what is that if people don't know about it?
sure. So the Rochester Philharmonic Youth Orchestra, or RPYO for short, is essentially an elite ensemble of the top talented youth in our area, not only Monroe County, but some surrounding counties as well. Um, Students in grades 8 through 12 can participate. It's by audition only. The auditions are pretty competitive, so we really do get the cream of the crop in this group. But it's an excellent chance for young, talented musicians to come together, to have the chance to play with peers that they are not necessarily getting the chance to play with in their own school programs, and really excel and play some challenging full orchestral repertoire. A full orchestra of strings, winds, brass, and percussion isn't something that every school offers. So this is a really unique opportunity to have that full orchestral experience. It runs the full school year. Students rehearse on once a week on Sundays, and then perform 3 times throughout the course of the year. And the upcoming performance is a side-by-side with the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra. And so that's what makes RPYO special, I think, is that special connection with our own professional musicians in the RPO.
And so this concert coming up in March, well, technically right around the corner,
Yeah.
because we're like right at the tail end of February. I just literally had to look at my phone. I believe it's on March 5th. Why is this a special performance for you guys?
Oh, well, like I said, I think it's special because the students are going to have the chance to sit literally side by side with the professional musicians of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra. Uh, and I think another thing that makes it special is the location. It'll be in Kodak Hall at Eastman Theater, which for those that have been before, it's one of the most grand and beautiful performance spaces that we have available to us in our area. So to not only be on that stage, but to be on that stage with the musicians of the Rochester Philharmonic, I think is really special.
Absolutely. And so Elizabeth, tell us, so what can people expect? What are you going to be playing? What's your favorite piece and why?
Yeah, so I've had the opportunity to do the side by side a couple times, and I think just coming to this concert, there's this energy on the stage that's just unmatched from some of our other concerts because both the professional musicians and then the people in the RPYO are so enthusiastic to be playing this music together, learning about each other, and just being introduced to this crazy communication between the two worlds. And so for this concert on March 5th, we'll be playing 4 pieces. We'll be playing Elgar, Enigma Variations, and we'll be playing Nimrod from that. And then we'll also be playing this gorgeous piece by Margaret Bonds called the Montgomery Variations, and also this fun kind of Spanish-inspired piece by Marquez called Danzo Number 2, and finally Respighi Pines of Rome.
Wonderful. What's your favorite out of those?
They're all very, very different. I think I'm most looking forward to Respighi because combined with the RPO, it's going to be just so grand with all the new voices introduced also.
Absolutely. And Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where do you live now? And how did you get involved with the cello?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Rochester. I've lived in Brighton my whole life. I'm currently a senior at Brighton High School, and I've been in the RPYO since 8th grade. So this is my 5th year and
Oh,
last year.
wow.
I've been playing cello since the age of 5, so around 13 years. And um, basically, I was introduced to the RPYO just both hearing from the community. It's just such a praised group, and my sister was also in it, my older sister, and going to those concerts when I was younger, I was just so inspired by just the joy on the stage. So that really made me want to join when I was in middle school.
And in terms of the cello when you were 5, you were little, right?
Yeah.
So when you first started, why did you start playing and what made it stick? Like, what did you like about the instrument specifically and music and performing?
Yeah. I guess I was really lucky in the sense that my parents basically gave me free will with the instrument.
Sure.
And it just so happened that cello was the first one I tried. And I immediately fell in love with cello. My first teacher was absolutely amazing. And she really introduced me to the storytelling and the creativity of music. So already at a young age, I was just really enamored to that sense of like free will with basically creating narratives for everything I played. And then that feeling has really stuck with me. And especially when I'm playing in the orchestra and playing chamber music, just finding that method of communication through music has really been a major drive for me to continue playing all these years.
And I mean, this might be like a premature question, but like, do you have any, you're a senior, right?
Yes.
Do we know what your plans are for like moving forward or no?
So, I haven't completely decided yet. I'm definitely music's always going to be in my life, but I did make the decision not to go the conservatory route. But no matter where I go, I'm going to continue playing chamber music and playing in orchestras.
And being involved.
Yeah.
So what is it about music and performing that you think is important for young people? Like, why is it good for young people to get involved with music as young people?
Yeah. At least for me, I found that just, I mean, people find this a bunch of different ways, but at least finding a way to de-stress and also finding creative outlet. So I think those have probably been my biggest things that I've been able to get out of it. And just finding a way, like separate from schoolwork and separate from other extracurriculars, music is both a way to expand your knowledge, but also to make new friends and display your emotions, even when it may not feel easy to say it out loud.
Right, absolutely. It's definitely, I mean, it's it's a really healthy thing for young people to get involved in. And it is, it's like you guys, I think back to when I was little, it's like you guys have so much going on. Like you guys keep so busy when you're in high school. And if you're really involved, which a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And so it's like you wouldn't think you would need another thing, but it's almost like at the end of the day, when you're playing music and when you're reading music and performing, you're kind of losing yourself in that process and you're not thinking about all of the stressful things that come along with the pressure of being in your teens, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like this is just like my personal like feeling, but I'm feeling like you probably understand like but it's so great. Barbara, the RPYO, tell us, like, is it something, I mean, this may be a silly question, but is it something that's specific to, like, do people come in from out of, because like we know for the RPO, people come from all over to like be involved in that because it's like a professional organization. So for the RPYO, does it consist mostly of students from the Rochester and Finger Lakes region, or does the RPYO bring in I guess I just don't know that much about it. So does it bring in other people, or is it like specific to our region?
I would say the majority of students are right here from our region, but it has a really excellent reputation in the area. So we do draw students from the Buffalo region as well as far as from Ithaca. And so it's a pretty broad range. I mean, we do rehearse every weekend, and so you got to be able to make the drive.
Yeah.
Consistently, but most big cities, with an orchestra, even Buffalo has its own youth orchestra. They have a Greater Buffalo Youth Orchestra.
Gotcha.
But I think that speaks a little bit to the quality that the RPYO provides. The fact that we have students choosing to make the trip, down 90 to get to Rochester to play in the RPYO instead.
And why should people in the Rochester and Finger Lakes region want to see these performances and want to support organizations like the RPYO and this upcoming concert? Like, why is that a good thing?
I feel like that is such a deep question that I could talk a really long time about. What Elizabeth was talking about earlier is, I think, maybe just like the quickest answer is just the joy on stage. I mean, the music is going to sound fantastic because the youth orchestra sounds fantastic. The RPO always sounds fantastic. So
Right.
you know it's going to get a great concert. But just to see that special interaction between the pros and, you know, young people being inspired, it's just going to be really special. But in terms of why you would want to support things like the RPYO or just music education in general, I mean, I think music is it's just a cornerstone of people's lives. It's the soundtrack to our lives. It's everywhere, even if, whether or not you're a symphonic concert goer or you just like listening on the radio on your drive into work. I mean, music is just, it's threaded through our life. To be able to have that experience growing up in music gives you that sort of lifelong appreciation. I think Rochester is really proud to have a professional orchestra in town. It kind of puts the mark on the map for us in terms of being just a really culturally relevant city.
Yes, yes, for sure.
So I think that just to continue to provide those opportunities to the next generation and ensure that Rochester stays vibrant for not only the folks living here today, but those generations to come. It's just, it's all around a great thing.
Absolutely. You ladies did such a great job. Now I'm just going to open it up if there's anything that you think that I should have asked you that I didn't, or anything that just you would like to add.
I guess I would just add, this is a special year for the RPYO. The RPYO began back in 1970, and
Wow.
so we're technically celebrating the 50th anniversary this year. Obviously, it was put on pause a little bit because of COVID. So, you know, the RPYO itself is just a really long-standing tradition of being an excellent organization. We're proud to be celebrating 50 years. And the RPO next season will be celebrating its 100th season, which is not a milestone all orchestras make across the country. So I think that Rochester should be really, really proud of the musical community that that we have here, and we're here because of the support we get from the community. So I think it's all just a great thing.
Fabulous. Elizabeth, anything else? Why should people come out and see you, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to add to that, after quarantine, this is kind of a huge moment for us because we haven't been able to play at Kodak for the side-by-side since my freshman year. So just being a senior and able to have this experience again while also celebrating the 50th anniversary is just, I'm so excited to celebrate it together.
Yeah, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.